Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Just putting together the presentation here for this video. Kind of getting down to the last moments here before submitting. So this is going to be a one take. Actually, this is the second time. But anyway, going forward here, start the presentation. I went ahead and I did my presentation over fatherlessness and answering the cry of the fatherless. And so the papers that I did covered this vulnerable population of fatherless children. And so starting the presentation, some of the barriers that I was able to find concerning this group was funding that is available, whether it be orphanages that are being funded or whether it be adoption agencies that, parents needing to be able to take care of these children and adopt them. Funding is a huge problem. Adolescent violence as these children grow up and the crimes that they turn to or the gangs that they turn to that can keep a lot of these children from being able to be part of a family or a home. And a lot of them, they turn to these things because they have that emptiness inside. And so that's another barrier in being able to reach these type of children. Um, Also, there is the cultural barrier. And so a friend of mine, they adopted outside of the U.S. and it was a really big barrier at first as far as just the culture that this child was from and being able to help her, you know, actually adapt to the culture that we have here. The other thing would be relational barriers. And so a lot of these kids, when it comes to just having healthy relationships and social skills and feeling loved, a lot of them they're not able to do those things just because they've been abandoned or they feel like they have. And so two of the organizations that I looked at was we're going to start with the National Center of Fathers and Fatherless America. These I went over in my VP2 paper. And so the NCF, they're funded through donations within their website. And so I put the website there if you guys would like to take a look. The programs that they have offered is NCF Fathering Program or Profiles, mentorship, and conferences around the nation. And so the fathering profile is kind of something that they put together to help dads who may not know, how they're doing as a father to kind of gauge where they're at. And so one big difference here with the NCF is they really kind of look their ministry is towards just having fathers who are currently in their children's life still and help them become better fathers. And also those fathers who may not have a relationship with their kids because of court orders or something like that, they actually help them by funding some of those court costs. And so it's obviously on a select basis, but those are some of the ministries and the programs that they have there. The second organization they looked at was Fatherless America, and again, their funding is done through their website, donations, and the website is there if you guys again would like to take a look and donate. Programs are mentorship, scheduled speakers, and focus on the congregation. And so with this program, their focus, instead of being nationwide, they're really just focusing on the boys that are in their congregation and whether they have a father figure who, may be lacking in areas because of drugs and alcohol. They want that little boy to have, just a mentor to help him grow. That is another difference is they're focused on the boys in the congregation, where the NCF is focused on fathers and children, whether it be boy or girl. And just like I said, they do have scheduled speakers that they go and they put these speaking events on. So the aftermath of this problem of fatherlessness and why I chose this as the group that I wanted to focus on. 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. 90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes. And while I'm not going to go through all of them, 80% of rapists motivated with displaced anger come from fatherless homes. And so we talked about the crimes, and I covered that a little bit. And one of the biggest things when it comes to, just children who are fatherless, they have that loss of identity. And so a lot of them, they turn to just unhealthy behaviors as a way to kind of find themselves. And so one of the biggest issues that we have in America today is just children that really they don't have, that father figure that is helping them know who they are and who God created them to be. And that's actually going to take us into the last point that I want to make here in this presentation. Uh, why we should care as Christians. And so, as Christians, we know that God, He loves us and He loves the fatherless. And so, as Christians, we have the responsibility, to have a heart that is changed, toward the things of God. And so, if we look at James chapter 27, or I'm sorry, chapter 1, verse 27, uh, James says, pure and unblemished religion, as it is expressed in outward acts, in the sight of our God and Father, is this: to visit and look after the fatherless and the widows in their distress, and to keep oneself uncontaminated by the world. And so we see not just that scripture, but there's other scriptures within the Bible that really cover this topic of fatherlessness and just how God, His heart breaks for those children who are fatherless, and He looks to us to be His hands and feet. And so, with that, hopefully, we can continue as we take care of the orphan, as we take care of, that child who does not have, um, you know, a dad. We'd be able to help them find their way in this life.